Powerful, phenomenal, and the future of literature. Well, these are just some of the reviews that author Jackie Phamotse has been receiving for her second and latest book titled Bear. The offering takes us deep into the cracks of uncovering truths that are swept under the carpet. Treasure, the protagonist, leaves her Western area home to come and chase fame, fortune, and the high life in the city of gold. Well, the way she gives us accounts of her experiences and of those around her gives us a glimpse into her world that's filled with sex, sugar daddies, and the politics thereof. Well, Jackie, the author, joins us now in studio to tell us more about this thought-provoking book. Jackie, welcome to Morning Land.
Morning, Pearl. How are you?
I'm great. Now, your latest offering really delves into some of the most important topics, important themes that women in South Africa in particular are faced with. Why was it so important to write your second offering?
I always say it saddens me that we only look at people's lives when they die and when they become a historical topic, and they use this point of references in case studies that this one died because of this one died because of that. But we do not challenge how people live that leads them to that unforeseen circumstance, you know. So I did a little bit of research to see how do people really live in Johannesburg, and why does it pull so many people, and what is it that allures us to this place? And unfortunately, it's the good and the bad. You know, we live in a very rich city. And there's many cities like ours. There's New York, there's Paris, there's Durban, there's Cape Town. There's a lot of cities just like Sandton, you know. So it's so sad when you see young people move from rural areas to Johannesburg, and then when they get here, they get lost in the lifestyle and the way people live here. And it leads them to so many horrible things. People get stuck into drugs, they leave their homes, others vanish, others get trafficked, others just wake up dead, and you see a headline, girlfriend killed by boyfriend, stabbed to death, or they're never being recovered. So I decided to really highlight how do people live here and what makes them want to live the life that they choose in the end, you know?
Let's talk about the main character in your book, Treasure. I think she was, for the most part, maybe a bit naive about the city of gold, and she saw the glitz and the glam. She thought she could be famous. She thought that this is where her dreams could come true. Talk to us about just some of the mistakes that you, in your research, have found to be true that Treasure goes through in her journey.
Number one, we are not educated about social media and what social media really does to a mental state of a person. We see that a person will post that I'm having dinner at a particular place, and a young girl who's 19, 16, 20 years old and just arrived in the city aspires to be that. You know, they look at celebrities, they look at what the media portrays that this life has to offer. But they find that when they get here,
it's
social media and what they live in their dormitories or wherever they live or their flats is not the same. So therefore it pushes them to go seek a life that does not belong to them. You know, they sleep with older people, they steal money, they use drugs, they start going to clubs that they can't even afford. I mean, who affords a bottle of something that costs about 40,000 rand?
At 19 years old.
At 19 years old, you know. Unfortunately, black people don't come from riches. We were not born into riches, you know. So it's difficult for us to even say, go to the city and do this. Number one, social media is a problem. Number two, lack of information. You know, we do have access to information, but we don't read the correct information. So we get pulled we get swept up and pulled into situations that we cannot control.
And I think that is one of what can be said about a lot of the millennials, that they're looking for that instant success, that instant fame, because of the digital world and how we're able to then access everything instantly and conveniently.
I mean, if a two-year-old child can be an Instagram sensation, what more can a 16-year-old do? Because that's what they aspire to be.
Of course.
Forgetting that you have to work to get to certain levels in life. You know, it doesn't just come up.
Let's move on now. In this book, you talk about a phenomena that's been around for centuries.
For centuries, it's not
the sugar daddy, the blesser, the blessee. It's just in a new name. Why was it important for you to continue to highlight this in your book? Because you did also highlight in your previous book, Shattered Innocence.
True. I mean, this phenomenon is over 200 years old, and people only think it's a thing now, you know. It's important that we face our social ills and talk about it and find ways to resolve them and find ways to understand where they come from so that it's easier to cope with them. It's not a new thing. Our great-great-parents used to date men who are 20, 15, 30 years older. It's not a new thing.
It just keeps evolving.
It just keeps evolving, you know. Now, it's just that we have put in trades into it. You want money? I'll give you this. I'll give you a holiday, I'll give you school fees, I'll give you an iPhone, I'll give you a bag. So now they have labeled it and they've made it a social norm, of which it comes with a horrible, horrible mental issue. You know, people start believing that it's the only way. People start intoxicating themselves so that they can live this life, whether it's with drugs or alcohol or any other kind of substance, you know. So whereas our grandmothers who dated 10, 15-year-olds, people who were older than them, never really had a struggle because it was tradition back then. Now we have shifted tradition into a cultural cult. You know, so it gets tricky there when you look at the history of where sugar daddies come from and the Palestinian culture, and then you look at the lifestyle we're living now and how we have evolved tradition to make it a lifestyle.
All right, fantastic. Jackie, thank you so much for coming through to Morning Live this morning. That's author Jackie Phamotse speaking to us about her latest offering titled Bear. It's a read that puts a spotlight on social issues that affect us all. These are issues such as power of social media, the recent phenomena that's just been redressed of blessers and blessees, sex, and all the politics that surround them. Time for a quick break. We'll be back here on Morning Live.